High above the collapsing shoreline, the Storm Dragon endures the supercell's force, conserving strength as ocean and sky begin to merge. Each step is deliberate. In hurricane winds, a miscalculation would send even an apex predator into the sea below. It waits for a brief lull between gust fronts. Timing is everything when launching into unstable coastal air currents. With a controlled burst of power, the Storm Dragon abandons the cliff and commits to the violent sky. Using storm lift to conserve energy, it rides unstable air currents with remarkable aerodynamic precision. Suspended against the gale, internal bioelectric organs begin building charge within its armored chest cavity. A controlled discharge releases excess charge, preventing internal overload during peak atmospheric instability. Leaving the battered shoreline behind, the Storm Dragon ascends toward mountainous terrain where the storm intensifies further. High above the forest line, the Storm Dragon claims the ridge, where rising air currents feed the growing mountain supercell. Within the forest, it conserves energy, navigating terrain carefully as electrical pressure builds in the sky above. Gravity challenges even an apex predator, yet its quadrupedal strength allows steady progress toward the storm's core. At the exposed summit, it confronts the supercell directly, stabilizing its massive frame against violent atmospheric shear. Rather than retreat, the Storm Dragon harnesses the mountain's electrical fury, channeling unstable energy into its core. Using mountain updrafts, it descends along the storm front, preparing for the final electrical release. The mountain answers with thunder as excess energy surges back into the storm system above. Leaving the peaks behind, the Storm Dragon follows the expanding supercell toward open plains where instability grows unchecked. Drawn to instability, the Storm Dragon enters the inflow zone, where warm surface winds feed the rotating supercell above. Using rotational lift, it spirals along the mesocyclone, testing the violent shear surrounding the forming tornado. Suspended within tornadic inflow, the Storm Dragon hovers against extreme pressure gradients few creatures could endure. As the tornado condenses, it dives toward the circulation, exploiting horizontal vortices along the storm's outer bands. Within the electrical chaos, it absorbs residual charge while maneuvering through debris-laden inflow winds. Momentarily grounded, it stabilizes against tornadic outflow before launching once more. With explosive force, it re-enters the storm column, using rising thermals to regain altitude. As the tornado weakens, the Storm Dragon moves on, following the migrating supercell toward new instability. Following the pressure gradient offshore, the Storm Dragon approaches the rotating cyclone gathering force above warm ocean waters. Skimming the sea surface, it exploits dense humid air to conserve energy while advancing toward the cyclone's eye wall. Riding powerful updrafts within the eye wall, it ascends through rotating convection where wind speeds reach their peak intensity. Within the eye's temporary calm, the Storm Dragon stabilizes, surrounded by walls of violent rotating cloud. As the eye destabilizes, electrical gradients intensify, feeding energy back into the storm system. It plunges toward the sea, testing the storm's boundary layer before pulling sharply upward. With immense force, it climbs once more into the cyclone's rotating crown. As the cyclone moves toward landfall, the storm dragon advances inland, following instability toward new atmospheric conflict. Drawn inland by thermal contrast, the storm dragon enters the superheated urban storm zone above the city skyline. Navigating vertical wind tunnels between towers, it converts gravity into controlled speed before braking mid-descent. Momentarily grounded, it surveys the urban storm front advancing from the coast. Urban infrastructure amplifies electrical gradients, feeding additional charge into the storm dragon's core. Against chaotic crosswinds, it sustains controlled hover within the city's turbulent air corridors. As lightning strikes the urban grid, cascading failures ripple through the city beneath the circling predator. Releasing excess energy upward, it stabilizes the charged supercell above the city. Leaving the weakened city storm behind, the storm dragon advances toward a larger merging system where atmospheric forces converge. As multiple supercells collide, atmospheric instability peaks, drawing the storm dragon toward the largest rotating core. Plunging into the downdraft core, it converts falling momentum into controlled rotational energy. Orbiting the rotating crown, it synchronizes with the storm's angular momentum. Suspended within converging airflows, it stabilizes at the center of maximum instability. Grounded at the storm's epicenter, it channels the atmospheric pressure through its massive frame. At peak convergence, electrical gradients surge, amplifying the storm's rotational intensity. With immense force, it ascends into the storm's densest electrical chamber. At the height of convergence, the storm dragon confronts the observer, releasing a final surge of atmospheric energy.